10 reminders for our present situation as we are all going through a difficult moment. So just a little bit of encouragement. The situation that you are in right now is not permanent. That's number one to understand, and that's number one for us to remind ourselves that this is not a permanent situation. It's a passing situation. So don't panic, don't get worried, don't get worked up, and above all, don't stress, because when you stress and panic and worry, our minds are not going to work properly, and our functionality will be absolutely affected by our minds. Reminder 2, we need to learn to face our fears. One of the important aspects in human life is fear, and everybody has fear. Fear is normal, fear is okay. There's nothing to worry about fear, because if you don't have fear, you're not normal. Okay, so fear is good. But don't allow the fears to overtake you and overcome you. You overcome the fear. So face your fear. And when I say face your fear, every time we have a fear in our life, we tend to allow other people to come into our lives to face fears together. That is okay, but that's not the right way out, because you're not going to have people all the time with you to face your fears. What if you're alone? What if you're in some place that there's no family, there's no friends, there's no support, and you're all alone? Who are you going to call? You can't go to the road and call some stranger and invite them into your life to face your fear, right? So learn to face your fear alone. Reminder 3, others' opinions are not important, and they're not going to run your life. Sometimes people give us good opinions, sometimes they give us bad opinions. Some of them are negative, some of them are positive. Now it doesn't matter whether they're negative or positive, because all negative ones are bad, we know that. But not all positive ones are useful. Sometimes people's positive remarks can also mislead you. So don't get too excited, one is, with people's remarks and opinions, and don't get discouraged with their opinions, because their opinions are not going to run your life. Your opinions and your statements and your views and your values, that's going to run your life. So don't worry about what people think about you. Don't worry about what people tell you. Now, that doesn't mean you're not supposed to talk to people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have friends. I'm not saying you shouldn't go. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's okay to be normal, but it's not okay to allow their opinions to rule your life and determine your future. So be careful about people's opinions, because you want to be convicted by your own opinions first. Reminder number 4, be open to changes, because change is inevitable. The last 60 days, things have been changing, and it is going to change and continue to change. So if you're not open to changes, it's going to be more difficult for you. It's going to be more frustrating for you, because it's your mind. The mind has to be able to be willing to accept changes. It's something that you have to tell yourself. You have to speak to yourself and say, it is as it is. And so I can't do anything apart from accepting the changes. So be open to that. Reminder number 5, staying positive with your strong will. I don't know how many times I've mentioned this to college students and wherever I've spoken. It's important that we have a strong will during these times, because everything around is so negative. Everything around is not very good looking. Everything around is not very nice, and it's a mess. When we look around, it's a mess. So staying strong, staying positive with your strong will, with your will, is very important, and nobody else can do better than you. At these times, we can't ride on somebody else's strength. We can't ride on somebody else's positive nature, or we can't ride on anybody else's positive attitude and will. Look at your will. You have a will. We all have strong wills. Maybe you've just not identified your will, You've probably not taken time to identify your will. And these are good opportunities where you get to see your inside better. You get to see what you've never seen before. So you have a will. You have a strong will. Trust me, you have a strong will. Identify it and stay positive on that strong will. Reminder 6, you need to trust your abilities. And again, I want to remind you, you have amazing abilities. You have amazing skills. You have amazing talents, and you have things inside of you that you need to ponder and explore. So make sure that you're able to look at your abilities and work on your abilities and trust your abilities, because during this time you need to be able to help yourself. Most likely Nobody's going to come to your rescue. Most likely, there are going to be very few people around. So you need to trust your abilities. And it can be in different formats. Your abilities can be in various formats. It doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter and the important aspect is that you trust your abilities. Because if you don't trust your abilities, nobody's going to trust your ability. Reminder number 7, you have a great destination. This is not your destination. This is only the start of your life. And so don't look at this as the final point. Don't look at this as your final stop. This is not your destination. You have a great, amazing, beautiful destination. And so if you stop now, you're not going to reach that beautiful destination. So you have to work on the things that are around you, work on the things that are inside of you, work on the positives, the negatives. You have to work on all these things because this is not your stop. You're on a journey. You've got into a bus or got into a train, and this is not your stop. So it's like getting into a vehicle, and instead of reaching your destination, you get off midway. You're the losers. Reminder number 8, the world is your mirror. So instead of looking at the world and getting confused, I think you need to look at the world and correct yourself, just like you look at a mirror and groom yourself. So the world has to help you to make changes in your life, not to confuse you, not to anger you, not to frustrate you. So look at the world as a mirror. The things that you look around, the things that you face, it's a mirror. So when you look at these things as a mirror, you'll be able to make those corrections, set right those things in your life, and make sure that you move from a more negative focus to a more positive focus, and you'll be able to groom your life, just like how when you stand in front of a mirror and groom your personality, you'll be able to groom your life. Reminder number 9, don't find fault, find favor. You know, it's very easy for us to find fault with people, find fault with situations around our governments, our organizations, our businesses, our families, our friends, and our society. It's very easy. It's the first thing that comes to a human mind is to find fault. It's just a natural thing that happens. But at this crisis time, at this time of pandemic, at this time of confusion and challenge, instead of finding fault, I think we need to try to find favor with people. When you go places, you go to different locations and localities, help yourself to find favor, because when you have favor, you have lots of good things happening in your life. But when you start finding fault, negativity increases. People will get upset with you, they get angry with you. You don't feel good about yourself, and people will begin to hate you because there's enough of negativity around. We don't want to add to that finding fault aspect. We want to help ourselves find favor. So try to help yourself to find favor. You need favor, I need favor. The final reminder number 10, learn to adapt to your situations and circumstances, because adaptability is something that's going to enhance your present situation. When you learn to adapt, you learn to move with the flow. You learn to go with whatever exists, because right now you can't change things around. You can't go and make adjustments with things around, but you can adapt and make changes within yourself to go and flow with those things. So adaptation is very important. Adapting to whatever's around you. It doesn't matter what's around you. Learn to adapt, learn to go with the flow, because the flow is important right now. Whatever is happening around, whatever you get, whatever you're able to access, whatever you're able to learn from, wherever you're able to live, and whatever you have in your hand, move with that, just move with that. Adapt, learn to move, and go with the flow. I hope you enjoyed these 10 reminders. See if you can put it into every aspect of your life and take whatever is useful and don't worry about the rest. Have a nice day.